If I stop shaming myself around food, once I start making excuses, like if I remove guilt, once I lose discipline, once I just let myself go, and this is such an important question to follow up in the video that I made, the previous video I made about removing shame from your food dialogue or just having a story around food in general. And I love this question because, yes, while removing shame can be powerful, but if it's not paired with accountability, you can go off the rails in the other extreme, which is also what we don't want. Um, so today we are going to talk about neutralizing food without bypassing responsibility. And so, usually, there are two options that people assume, though, two roads people take when they're on their weight loss journey. One is be extremely strict, you know, stay in control through pressure, restrictive, just, judge every single thing that they eat. And then there's the second option where you say, like, you using you're almost kind of like bypassing with saying like you love yourself, loving yourself in chaos. There's no structure, there's just no standards, just straight vibes. And honestly, I don't mind straight vibes, but straight vibes is not gonna get us the result that we want. So first of all, the either options I just described, neither of them are going to help you create a healthy relationship with your body or your weight loss journey or with food in general. But um because part of it is because one of it like creates anxiety in your body. So even when you lose the weight, you constantly feel like there's something wrong with your body. Or the other one kind of just lets you drift and lets your body do whatever it wants. And no, we're here trying to, yeah, refine, you know? Anyways, we're here to, I'm here to tell you that there is a middle ground, where you can remove that shame, but still create some type of accountability. Like self compassion and accountability are not opposites of each other. I don't know who thought us that, but that's one of the things us as adults need to unlearn. But I get it. As kids, when we were doing something seen as bad, we were almost shamed into changing. And so, one thing that I've noticed a lot of women do is try to overcorrect, over criticize, thinking that's going to create a lasting change with your body. But think about it. Your body want A lot of us do not have like an actual relationship with our bodies. We don't even know we're disconnected with our bodies. And part of the main guys, the enemy is pushing real hard today, but my nervous system is stronger. I have recorded this video like so many times now, and just something just kept going wrong. And now it's dark. It was light outside when I started recording, and now it's dark. But it's okay. I told myself I will finish this, and I'm not stressing. This is big for me. Like nervous system work goes to every area in your life, whether it's with food or creating content. Normally, this would be my capacity would be enough to be like, you know what, I tried to record today and it just wasn't working out. But now I'm in the place where it's like, it is what it is. I'm never gonna say the same things over and over the same exact way. However it comes out, it comes out. But I digress. Let me go back to what I was talking about before I got cut off. Um, yeah, a lot of us have, we don't even realize how disconnected we are from our body, that we forget that our body is constantly communicating to us, telling us, giving basically informing us where your body is at this moment versus not. So, my thing is, if you spend just like a regular friend, if you have a friend that is always insulting you, nitpicking at every single little thing that you do, would you want to stay, would you want to have a relationship with that person, first of all, consistently? Would you stay in communication with them? No. So that's basically what happens with our bodies, where a lot of the times it does want to work with us, but because we're constantly criticizing it, judging it, we're never appreciating it for all the great ways it's still holding us, even when we make the sometimes when we make irresponsible decisions with it, how it's still able to really hold us. So like our body doesn't feel seen by us. It doesn't trust us to hold it in a safe space. So when you start to try and create that connection, try to acknowledge what it is coming up and how to regulate it, because a lot of these exercises, they're simple, not easy, but simple. Your body just wants you to recognize it, to bring it to the conversation of your goals. This is why no matter how many times you try, you're finding it difficult because to lose weight. You're finding it difficult because you're not involving your body in the process of these decision making, holding his hand as you go through this process. So this journey really is about you know just having self-compassion, and self-compassion and accountability are not opposites. I don't know who what, at least in my brain, I'm like, I don't know who told me I can't have either. Like, I can choose. After a while, you gonna get better at even choosing the states that you're in. Like, I can choose to, let's say if I want to cook a meal, I can choose to cook it from a place where all I feel is resistance. I'm dragging myself. I don't want to be here, and I'm forcing my body. Versus, I can take a moment to like check in with my body and figure out, okay, what can we do here to make you be more willing to comply as we cook this meal. And just having that shift in state changes how you approach processes to anything, because for the rest of your life, I'm going to keep emphasizing, you're going to have to keep managing your weight. But when you bring your body along, your body can even start informing you better when it's actually truly hungry versus just now when it's dysregulated. Now you get to see the cues, like, oh, I'm dysregulated right now, so maybe I need something else. Anyways, enough with the tangent. Um my my go- from the previous video, I brought up the pizza example. So, like, let's say, you ate a pizza and your old pattern is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ate this. This is so bad. I ruined everything. That shame in itself is not going to create accountability. It's just going to create a spiral that you find yourself as like, I can never get out. So now, w- when you're doing it, from a more regulated state. But now here's the new pattern. It's like, you eat the pizza and now you get curious. Instead of spiraling, you say, okay, that happened, no drama. And then later, from a calm state, you can journal, you can reflect, like, was I actually hungry? Was I stressed? Did I plan meals today? What did I learn? And, to me, this is accountability without self attack. This is, going from where shame says, what's wrong with me? Versus accountability is like, what can I learn from this? what is happening here, to really become someone that can like become more of an observant of your habits and figure out the root. Is like what is causing me to want to grab that food every time I feel a bit of discomfort. Like, what is it underneath there? Because a lot of times, this is why I try not to create stories around food, because the food in itself is not usually the problem. It's the state we're approaching the food that we're in. And and sometimes when our body is even signaling hunger, sometimes is if you pay close enough attention, it wants something else. Maybe it's feeling lonely, maybe it's feeling overwhelmed. And I feel overwhelmed, that happens too. When I feel lonely, that happens too. How else can I meet that need? Just get curious. I feel like people with more curious mindsets tend to be um come from less judgmental state, where you already have your stance and position, versus like, interesting, today I noticed, when I was feeling nostalgic, I went and reached for the ice cream or whatever. So really, and one, I don't know if I've said this before because I've recorded this so many times, but the state of which you create a problem is never going to be the same state at which you solve it from. A lot of times, the reasons we even become overweight is because of some type of trigger stress factor, because your body naturally does not want to hold on to that weight. Checking in. My phone decided to stop again, but we're going to finish this video today by fire, by force. It will happen, okay? But, anyways, I think I left off at yes, your body naturally wants to release the excess weight. It actually does not want to hold on to that, but it's doing that out of fear, out of stress, out of unsafetyness. So, when you can, yeah, just help with creating less stress within your body and your environment, that helps a lot on your, creates, yeah, that just helps a lot on your journey of weight loss. And so, you know if you want to stay, if you want to like stop shaming yourself but still hold yourself accountable, the first thing would be just remove the drama around food. If you ate something that is not within like your plan, I would say like just stay present while you're eating. No need to go spiraling, and just really be present. Notice the temperature, how it smells, how it feels, all the stuff. And then later on, once you are in a more calmer state, you can now reflect and ask yourself, like, what was I feeling before I ate? What did I actually need in the moment? And I use food to regulate me. And what would I do differently next time? So, you can just reflect, no need to self judge. It doesn't have to be an essay, just something to notice. The goal is to get you to like notice, bring your body into the conversation as well. And all of this is just data for you, so that, later you can be like, okay, today I overate. And you can reflect, like, what led up to that. Was it because I ignored those simple hunger cues that were coming up and I allowed myself to get really hungry? Or was it because I just did not plan, or I didn't know, I just did not meal prep plan, so this was all that I had. And so now you can self correct without punishing yourself, and so all of this to me, like I said, this is just to notice patterns, and any pattern can be broken. but you don't need to go into self hate, self judgment to do all of that. You can still look at all of it from a place of just reflection, compassion, and, how do I move forward from here? And, and you may be thinking, but if I'm not hard on myself, wouldn't this make me become even more lazy? And honestly, for me in my journey and what I've seen with other people is the opposite actually happened. The more that they found, the more that they neutralized your story around food, or just became maybe just less self-critical and became more self-appraising. Um, it reduced the food noise, the binge cycles reduce, like the frequency of it calm down, especially with me. Oh my goodness, I used to be the queen of talking so much crap, so much shit to myself if I didn't do what I needed to do. But sometimes when I find those things, when I'm in that state of dysregulation and I can't even regulate myself in the moment, I allow myself to just fall. I'm like, I'm not going to be judging myself in this moment. Whatever my body thinks it needs right now. And then when I'm finally calm enough and I'm finally out of that space, now I can reflect what got me there. What can I do better to move forward? And then I can just self correct the next day. It used to take me like a month, 2 months, months to like go back because I'll feel so bad for not following the plan perfectly. And to me, that's just wasted more time. And that's why sometimes you gain weight, you will lose weight and then gain it, and then it'll take you forever to come back and lose the weight again because you are sinking in your pool of shame and guilt. And that is only going to bring you even more down versus forward. And so, um, you know, and so now that you are even bringing your body to the conversation and really noticing what it needs, is naturally going to want to like keep, and it's going to reward you with how good you feel in your body. Like, I mean, if the language alone around your body changes, that's a big one for women, no matter what size they are. Li- Listening to what they have to say about themselves, how critical they are. So that alone will change. And so, my goal isn't to make you perfect, is to be a woman that is honest with herself, cares about herself, and also starting to create safety in her body. So, if you're on a journey of healing your relationship with food, trying to lose weight or even gain weight, remember this: you don't need more shame, you don't need zero standards. All you need is regulated accountability where you can hold yourself with compassion and still grow. If this resonated with you, stay with me on this journey as we dive deeper into how nervous system regulation helps in whatever habits, healthy habits we're trying to instill as our baseline. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.